Amy Pascal has been saying Venom is coming to the MCU for a while now. From Kevin Feige's reaction to hearing this information, he wasn't planning on it. Sony has the leverage when making decisions because they own the rights to Spider-Man. If Marvel doesn't agree to something they want, Sony won't renew the contract to keep Spider-Man in the MCU. I'm sure you know about this. A bunch of articles came out after Far From Home titled Spider-Man is leaving the MCU because Sony wanted to go in a different direction and they didn't come to an agreement. So if Sony wants Venom in the MCU, he's gonna be in the MCU. Feige is a deal maker though. I've never met the guy, but I bet he's a sweet talker. I mean, he managed to get Spider-Man into the MCU. That's a pretty big deal. I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and before Venom was announced, I was looking forward to the day we get to see this Spider-Man against a Venom. But then the Venom movie came out. Tom Hardy's Venom just didn't click with me, and now people are saying he's gonna fight Spider-Man. Hardy's Venom is just too old for this Peter Parker. I don't want to see a 40-year-old Venom fight a 17-year-old Spider-Man. In the comics, Eddie is usually a couple years older than Peter. He's not supposed to be old enough to be his fucking dad. This Eddie Brock also just doesn't seem like the Eddie Brock. My idea of Eddie Brock is if Spider-Man never learned, with great power comes great responsibility. Venom's also already a good guy in his first fucking movie. I couldn't think of a logical reason for them to fight, and apparently the writers couldn't either. In the Let There Be Carnage after credits scene, Venom and Eddie have the dumbest reason to go after Peter. They saw him on the news for 2 seconds and decided to go after Peter before even researching anything at all. Eddie Brock is literally a journalist, but on a whim he just decides this 16-year-old kid needs to be dealt with? Okay. Luckily, things worked out. No Way Home's post-credit scene shows Eddie in the MCU. This really bummed me out at first. I kinda just sighed and accepted it. But then the unthinkable happens. Venom just leaves. You would not believe my excitement, and he even left a bit of symbiote, which I think is a cool way to introduce Venom into the MCU. I love how they turn the Let There Be Carnage after credit scene into a fucking joke. The Let There Be Carnage scene tries to get the audience excited. Uh-oh, Venom's in the MCU and he's going after Spider-Man. Then he just fucking leaves in the next movie. That's actual comedy. So somehow Feige found a middle ground with Sony, and I think this is the best way to go. The main candidate for Venom is Flash Thompson, which I'm not really excited about. Flash needs to go through some drastic changes in character before he becomes Venom. He's just not intimidating, and I'd like to know a little more about him before he becomes Venom, but I would prefer a new Eddie Brock. Tom Hardy's Venom not being in the MCU is one of the best decisions Marvel has made so far, in my opinion. I'm looking forward to what they do with the new Venom. I'm sure they'll do a good job with him. That's my take on Venom joining and leaving the MCU. Thanks for watching.